So how to decalcify your pineal gland. This is a buzz phrase which generates a lot of excitement and interest for those of us who seek spiritual and mystical states of consciousness. And it's common that way we may perceive a lack of spiritual or mystical perception in our lives and then identify a calcified or underfunctioning pineal gland as the root cause. So then the common assumption from that is that if we just stimulate this gland enough, or if we just decalcify it enough, then we can finally achieve the states that we desire. However, the problem is that this line of thinking is lazy, ineffective, mechanistic, and reductionistic, and will not actually yield the results that we're looking for two reasons. Number one, it goes not only against common sense, but also against the way the cosmos actually works. So what we're going to do in this video is actually look at what we can focus on that will actually lead us to the results that we're looking for. So first, the biggest and most important thing that we can look at and understand is that we need to really let go of such a rigid and narrow mechanistic and reductionistic view that if we just calcify our pineal gland, then we'll have mystical or spiritual insight. And honestly, whatever perceived a lack of spirituality or mystical awareness that we might have has less to do with the supposed calcium buildup in your pineal gland and more to do with our state of psychological programming, our belief systems, as well as our overall energetic state, meaning the functioning and the vitality of the energy system in our bodies. So first, that's the biggest thing that we got to look at and we have to understand, because that's the biggest sort of stumbling block. And really, following that, we need to obviously deprogram limiting false beliefs in spells which cut us off from receiving the nourishment or the energy that the universe is trying to provide us all the time. While we're on the topic of deprogramming false and limiting beliefs, another major thing which we need to consider is the fact that we need to stop being lazy by thinking that we're going to have some sort of easy overnight success without any real dedication or focus or commitment. And we need to let go of the illusion that if we just take the right pill, if we just put the right substance in combination or take the right thing, that'll magically open our pineal gland and we'll have all the spiritual mystical states which we want to achieve. Because following that line of thinking is rather insulting to yourself and the cosmos at large, because basically what you're saying is, yeah, I deserve the rewards, I deserve the output without actually putting in the input, or I deserve the rewards without actually setting and building a solid foundation by which those things can then be naturally attracted to anyways. Because an easy way to understand is that people don't look for people don't look for quick fixes or pills to become a great musician, and in this case it's no different. There's probably a reason why people like Michael Jordan or great athletes achieve things that they do. You have to ask yourself, I wonder if Michael Jordan put in more time, energy, effort, discipline, dedication than his competition. I wonder if the great musicians have had a greater amount of focus and dedication and commitment than some of the other lesser musicians. Maybe there's a connection. Maybe there's something here that we can learn. Because the truth is, when we put in the focus, when we put in the time, the universe will respond and provide us, synchronicities, coincidences, opportunities, lessons, opportunities for growth, the right thing at the right time, the right thing we need to get to the next step and on to the next step, etc. And really the reason why we are talking about deprogramming, ways of seeing the world, or deprogramming spells and limiting beliefs, is because while we may be busy chasing quick fixes or pills to decalcify this, we're actually missing the real lessons and opportunities for growth that the universe is offering us all the time. And that's really why I'm always talking about, let's not get stuck in rigid, mechanistic, reductionistic ways of seeing the world. Because when we get stuck in boxes like this, we're basically saying, all right, this is it, this is the way I see the world, and that's the end of it. And we're basically saying, you know what, universe, I know you're trying to give me lessons, I know you're trying to, nourish me and enrich me and give me all of these new experiences and new ways of seeing the world and things which can be very, just amazing and fun and interesting. But actually, I don't need all that because I found the one thing over here. That's all I need. And we turn into sort of like Johnny One Note, which is what I like to call that. So that's sort of the underlying reason why we're wanting to let go of these sort of beliefs and limiting spells, etc. Because in reality, like we said at the beginning, our perceived lack of spirituality or mystical awareness has less to do with a supposed calcium buildup and more to do with our programming and energetic state. So then, on top of the programming and taking those steps, what other things can we do to not only enliven our bodies, enliven our energy system, but also create more emptiness and space within our bodies, which then can attract more nourishment into our bodies, more lessons, more growth, more transformations, etc. Honestly, one of the most ancient, time-tested ways that has worked for me, has worked for probably billions of other people, is to practice some combination of Qigong, meditation, breathing for 1 or 2 hours per day, 5 or 6 times per week. If you do that for 6, 12 months, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, 8 years, for the rest of your life, I can almost guarantee you that's conversations of like, oh, I gotta decalcify my pineal gland, dude. It's just gonna seem really silly and really immature, and you'll kind of look back at yourself and be like, what was I thinking? So really, like I said, if we're gonna expect results and expect, rewards, we're gonna have to actually take the other step, take the step forward to put in the time, the energy, the commitment, the dedication, the focus, and really work on ourselves on that level, both the psyche as well as our energetic state. And these other things will take care of itself pretty easily, not because I made up this grandiose theory which is amazing and you must think I'm great. No, because it's just common sense, and that's the way that the universe actually works. I didn't make it up. I just learned it from other people who just went out in nature and observed it, and then I went out in nature and observed it. And you can go out in nature, you can look at, the natural world around you and see, oh yeah, that makes sense. And for that reason, you don't really need a rigid or mechanistic line of thinking to support it, because it's obvious, because you can just open your eyes and see it, because it's all around you all the time. So hopefully that's made sense. Hopefully that's been nourishing, and hopefully will provide you with a lot of insight that can then help you and further you on your path of growth, just as it's done for me. So if you have any questions or comments, post them below, and I'll talk to you soon.